Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and happy anniversary to me today. I'm doing a puzzle which has pearls in the grid. That's what I'm going to call the white dots today because they're relevant for my personal life. Anyway, the puzzle is actually Snake Farm by Chris Moore. We're going to do a puzzle with 9 snakes in it, apparently, which is a little bit terrifying, especially for a colleague I used to work with who had an absolute phobia. You couldn't say the word snake or anything suggesting them without incurring her absolute panic attack. It was extraordinary. So hopefully you don't suffer from that particular phobia today. So this is Chris Moore's effort, and Chris has featured on the channel before, and not for a long time, I think. So welcome back, Chris. Great to see you, and we'll have a look at that in a moment. On Patreon, you can deal with other problems than snakes by dealing with the Lord of the Rings. There's a great quest Sudoku hunt. It's by Blobs, who's a fantastic constructor. Well over 500 people have solved it already. That's incredible. This is one of the most popular Sudoku hunts we've put out in the last 2 years. And we're delighted that it's going so well. Very well done to everyone who's done it. I think there are 10 puzzles, so that is some go. And none of them absolutely trivial, and none of them really rock hard either. So very well worth a go. And there's always other content on Patreon. My connections is up today, last week's worth of connections to go with my tribute to Richard Rogan in our especially hard cryptic slot. Richard frankly defeated me very soundly with the last puzzle, which was posthumously, well no, it was published before he passed away, but I have solved it posthumously, as it were. And there's always some great content on Patreon. There's always our apps as well on the link under the video, and our merchandise, and Sven's Sudoku pad, and plenty of ways to engage with the channel through Discord or contacting us, etc. Have a look on the links under the video. But the first link is to Snake Farm by Chris Moore. Normal Sudoku rules apply. 1 to 9 in every row, column, and box. Row, column, and box. There we go. Now, the grid is divided into 9 snakes. Each snake is a path of length 9, starting at its tail in the southwest and moving orthogonally north or east, never west or south, to its head in the northeast. Is that possible? Apparently. 3 heads, red diamonds, and 2 tails, green squares, are shown, pointing to the next cell in that snake. So these are the tails of 2 of the snakes. These are the heads of 3 of the snakes. Digits in a snake cannot repeat. I was expecting that. The snake that contains the blue dot is a thermosnake. I don't think that's an officially recognized species, with digits increasing from its tail to its head. That presumably is what gives us a start on the numbers in this puzzle. Adjacent digits connected by a dot differ by 1 if the dot is white, so they're not actually pearls, it seems, and have a ratio of 1 to 2 if the dot is black, and there is 1 on this red snake bit. Wow, and that's it. That's all the rules. Apparently that's enough. I can't believe that that's enough to solve this puzzle. I think this is probably going to be very difficult, but we shall find out. Do give it a try on the first link. And as I failed to say yesterday, apparently, let's get cracking. So we've got to do shapes first. There's literally nothing else we can start with here. So we've got to do shapes. So let's color these snakes. Let's make that one orange and this one green to contrast with the red, and that one bright blue. Then these ones can be yellow and and red. There we go. Okay, so they always move from their tails only north and east. I suppose, yes, okay, you could have one like that and then one taking in the corner like that. Now, did it say, absolutely the implication is that they are paths of length, of width 1. I suppose if they always move north and east, yes, they have to be paths of width 1. Okay, fine. This red one, right, it can't head up into this area because it will never achieve 9 cells. So it's going to have to come round here somehow, maybe. Okay, so maybe it's going to be like that, leaving room for a 9-cell snake into the corner. Oh, hang on though, this is a head. So this has to come down the grid, so that might be like that. Well, these are in a different snake from red. Okay, I'm going to color this cell something different. Let's make that dark green. Because that can't be in red, which can only go north or east from here. And it's got to go somewhere. Well, it's got to be in a snake. And it's not in yellow because that's the tail. And it's not in this red because that can't reach here. And these reds have already gone too far west. So this is a different beast. And this has, right. So this is going to be about the number of cells that we have to fill down here, I think. So this could obviously go into the corner. Actually, it could be exactly that shape of 9 cells. And then something else could join the blue. Oh, okay, left of this yellow snake, we can only have a maximum of 3 snakes here. And we've got to have, blue must come down into one of these cells because it can't finish there, there's not enough cells. So blue is in one of those cells. Red, I don't know that it's in one of, do I know that it's in one of those cells? Not quite, but the maximum number of colors we can have here is 3. 1 snake there, 1 snake there, 1 snake there. I suppose you could have a 4th one ending here. My point is, I think this box can only be filled with red, dark green and blue. Now, that's not true because we could start another color in it or even down here, but we've got to leave room for red and green to get up the grid somewhere. They've got to fill 18 cells between them. And then this blue is going to have to fill, right, of this area that I'm highlighting here, 15 cells are in red and dark green. That the area I've highlighted is only 21 cells big. Oh, it's not true to say 15 of those are red and dark green because they could go north of here, but not far actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's as far as red could go. Green's obviously one to the left. So if I included those, and that's quite a good idea because they could also be blue. Right, I've now highlighted an area of 23 cells. And of these 23 cells, I believe 7 must be red, 8 must be green. I don't think, it's not quite true. Well, it is true because green can't get to row 3, column 7 because it would block red. So it is true. So 7 of these 23 cells are red, 8 are green. That leaves 8 cells and 7 of them at least, well, 7 of them are bright blue. Because this snake must finish downwards rather than upwards. So that is 22 of these 23 cells. Now, what I'm learning from that is there's only 1 degree of freedom. And therefore, although I could maybe take this corner cell out of the red, green and blue section, I can't take much out of it. Basically, red is going to have to hug yellow up there. Green is going to have to hug red in that general direction. Oh no, green and blue could swap. Yeah, sorry, green could come round there and blue could come down here. Now, green is going to have to take these cells because what else? We can't start another colour. So green is going to have to take all of those cells. Oh, hang on, this can't be blue though, it's too long. So I've got something wrong here. Oh, red could come here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, this is how it's going to work. Red is going to, we are going to lose that cell. That was our 1 degree of freedom. Red is going to come there and round the corner. Green is going to hug that round the corner. Blue is going to be able to come down here and fill up to there. Look at that. So we've got 9 blues. That must be correct. Now, I say that fully conscious that what I thought must be correct a moment ago turned out not to be correct. So there might be possibilities I haven't thought of, but I think I've proved this rigorously. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 1 more red cell to come, but much more importantly, there are 2 more greens. So those are greens and that's red. And red and dark green are complete and bright blue is complete. And we've kind of filled that area that I was highlighting apart from that cell. That was the one that got away. Now, this yellow, that's an end. I was just wondering, does it come down here? It absolutely doesn't. It has to get out up here. That's 4 cells. Right, it's going to end up here, yellow. Because it has to go 5 more cells. And there is the grid edges in its way. It's going to end up here. And therefore, I think it has to take this path because otherwise it would block in a small area that couldn't form a separate snake. So yellow goes there. This must be in another colour that is not orange or green. So we need a new colour that is going to be... I haven't used purple yet. Let's use purple for this one. Dark blue and grey I still have to go. It's not many actually. But I have to complete orange and green now. Now, what I was actually wondering at the beginning is how these 2 corners get into snakes, but we've sort of found out. And it's not actually that difficult. I was thinking maybe you have to have a one column snake. You certainly don't. But they are going to be corners if you don't have that. Oh, okay, we're going to need 2 different snakes to fill this area. Because neither orange nor green can go into those, and purple can't cover them all. So purple and something else at a minimum are in these areas. And it seems to me quite likely that that's purple. I think it is. We can only have 2 because you can only get 2 in there. Yeah, okay, so all this is purple. Purple is now 8 cells long. This is all a new colour, which is grey. That's at least 5. Orange comes to here, so grey does go round this corner, in the corner of the grid. Then orange has to come out. Purple has to go 1 longer to finish off. So purple is now finished. Green must come here. Purple is finished though. Is grey finished? 3, 6, 8. 1 more grey to finish it. Orange goes to here on the white dot sequence. Purple is finished. We've got 1 new colour to come, dark blue. And that's got to go to this cell. So these are dark blue. This is now green to get out. This is now blue to get out. Grey is finished. This cell is going to have to be orange because I don't think it can be anything else. And therefore orange finishes, or maybe starts with its tail there. Green has to keep coming out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's now 8 long. Blue is 5 long and starts in the first corner, and green goes there. And there is our snake pattern. Well, that wasn't too hard. It's taken me 10 minutes. It's very clever how just those starting points allow this to occur. It's a remarkable grid. I'm very impressed by Chris already. And we still have the numbers, haven't put one number in the grid, but now I'm going to put 9 in the grid because we have a thermosnake. It's this purple one. It looks like it's I in its position 8. I think it said we start at the tail with a 1. I'm just going to recheck the rule. Yes, okay, so 7, 8, 9. There we go. Here are our digits in the grid. Right, black dot. That can't be a 2, so it's an 8. Now, 7 and 9 in row 3 are in those cells. Now we get to do some Sudoku. That's a 9. We have no other Sudoku clues in this puzzle apart from the remaining dots and the regions that we've created with the snakes. So it's all a bit strange. Anyway, we can't have 5 on a black dot. So that's 1 or 6. This is 2 or 3. These are a 2, 3, 4 triple. And there is another 2, 3, 4 triple. So 4's in one of those two and not there. This is a 1, 2, 7 triple. So that's not 2. These are from 3, 4, 5, 6. These include 1. 9 there is looking at that cell in the same region. Now, these can't have a 7 on already. That seems interesting. Oh, and we've got a grey... Oh, look at the grey area. Well, we need an 8 in the grey area, and it can't go here on the white dot with 3, 4, 5, or 6, so it goes there. This is 3, 4, 5, or 6, but it can't be 5 or 6 in the row, so it's forming a 2, 3, 4 triple, and these are 8 and 1 in the row. This can't be a 6. And one of those two is a 4 on that white dot now. Now, this white dot can't have 1, 7, or 8 in. There is a digit it must have, and that is 4. So that can't be a 4, which I knew because 4 is on that white dot. Right, now what about this snake? We've got a lot of that filled in. We've got a 2, 3, 4 set, definitely a 5 there, and 8 there. These can't have 6 in, so they're a 1, 7, 9 triple, naked triple. That's a rare beast. And they include a 1, so we don't have 1 in yellow again, so that's a 5, 6 pair, and this is 1 on the black dot with a 2. And what else? I love it. I mean, this is coming together very, very nicely. It's not quite as... It's not definitely as attritional as I thought it was going to be. It's very clever. Let's just keep going though. These red markings don't mean anything to us anymore. Oh, this orange has got 9871 in it. Right, the other digits that go in orange, I'm going to fully pencil mark them. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Why that is interesting to me is because of this 3, 4, 5 duo, as it were. So we can't have a 4 in those cells. One of these two is now a 4 in orange. Okay. But more importantly, this was what I was looking forward to. This is a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 quintuple, meaning these are 1 and 7. Now, we haven't got any other digits in those coloured snakes yet. There's a 7 in one of these two cells by Sudoku. That's perfect. That's gorgeous. Because there's a 1, 7 there and a 7 there. One of these three cells in box 4 has to have a 7 in. So it's in green, and therefore this is a 1. Now we can't have a 1 in green anywhere, apart from the one that we've just put. It doesn't actually help. Also, we've had a 7 in blue. That barely helps. It rules 7 out of that cell. 1, 7, 9 are looking up to the top of the grid there. So this is now a 3, 4, 5 triple. And we've got a law of leftovers thing. So look at these 3 snakes. They're obviously 3 sets of the digits 1 to 9. And so are these 3 regions. Now, the only differences between those 2 sets are that cell and that cell. So they have to be the same digit. You've basically if you highlight just this area, you've extracted from one set of, from one group of 3 sets of 1 to 9, a 1. And therefore, if you take the other set, that's a 1. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. That 1 looks up to the top of the grid. 7 and 1 there. Now, by Sudoku, there's a 1 in one of these positions, and by Domino Sudoku, it's not here on the white dot with a 3, 4, 5. So we've nearly finished the ones. We've got a little 2 by 2 with 2 ones in it to resolve there. 3, 4, 5, 1. 7 and 9. Okay. Right. Okay, now I'm going to compare green, dark green, with column 8. Because if you eliminate those 5 cells from both groups, it means this group of 4 cells have the same digits in as this group of 4 cells. And I don't like that because it's impossible. Right, something has gone wrong. Because there's nowhere for me to put a 1 in the dark green. And indeed, I've got 2 1s in blue. So I went wrong with 1s earlier. Let's see where I did that. Well, was it where I came up with this law of leftovers thing, which I'm absolutely convinced was right? See, what I could have done at this point, now, did I get this 7 thing wrong? That had to be a 1-7 pair. So there had to be a 7 there. So this 1 is right. I don't see how that's wrong. But I know there's no 1 in these cells from this thing. So there's a 1 in one of those 2. That could be green there. That's probably where I've gone wrong. Oh no, but I was absolutely convinced by my own argument about the law of leftovers here. Red, green, and bright blue contain the digits 1 to 9. So do these 3 boxes. If one set is missing a 1 there, then the other set must be missing a 1 here. The other way of looking at that is, where do you put a 1 in blue? Well, now I'm thinking I might have got the shapes wrong. And that's astonishing, because I was absolutely certain they were right. Have I got... No, this can't be wrong. Something is wrong. Something is rotten in my snake puzzle, and I don't know what it is. That has to be the same as that, but then 1s are impossible in the bottom row. Have I made one snake 10 cells long and another one 8? That would be a possibility. I don't think I have, though. Oh, this is weirding me out now. How can this be wrong? I'm absolutely certain about every deduction so far. Blue, dark blue needs a 1, and it's got to go in row 7, column 4. Wow. Unless that just basic deduction with the 7s was wrong somehow. I'm going to have to go back a bit. Sorry, I don't know what's gone wrong here. Let's go all the way back to where I was doing these first few boxes. Okay, I'm going all the way back actually to here. Now, that had to be an 8 on the black dot. That had to be a 9 by Sudoku in box 2. 7 and 9 in row 3, that's right. One, 2, 7 there. I don't see how anything can be wrong yet. Now, 9 there sorted out the 7, 9 pair. That was fine. And then we get this problem with 7s. I can immediately see that 7 in box 4 has to be in one of these cells. And that's the green snake. I just cannot imagine what can have gone wrong here. 179561 That's all absolutely solid as well. 6 had to be in yellow in one of those cells. It couldn't have a 5 on the black dot. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the rest of orange. One, 7, 8, 9. And we're going to definitely get a 7 there. And that makes that a 1. But this is where it's then gone wrong, because the only place for a 1 in dark blue puts a 1, another 1 into light blue. Wow. Well, I really have messed this up, and I don't begin to understand how. Yeah, maybe I do. Right, I have to go, this is painful. I have to go all the way back to the beginning when I was forming those first few regions. My goodness, I really did mess up. I can see how now. And I said at the time, I'm pretty sure that these deductions are solid. And they weren't. And that's just shocking. But there you go. Sometimes this sort of thing happens and you just have to be prepared to unwind. So, what I think I wasn't allowing for was more red and dark green coming up here somehow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That is as far as red can extend. But it could do it. Oh, here we go. Green could go up to there. And I did see that earlier on. I just didn't work out what it allowed. This must be right now. Blue must come down to here. And that is 7. That's 9. And look, we've got a different pattern now. Oh, that was tricky. Right. I didn't get that. I'm very sorry. But this is going to form... Oh, it's okay. It's not that anything apart from red, bright blue and green are going to change. In fact, red hasn't changed. It's just an organization of bright blue and green. And this is now going to allow the numbers to go in. Oh, that's so weird. Yellow again has to... So everything else is going to be the same for exactly the reasons I said before. They're purple. They're grey, and that has to let orange get out. Orange comes down here, grey finishes off there. There's literally no change to any of these other regions. The thermosnake is the same. This green has to get out. This has to be a different colour, which I think we made blue, and that's going to have to hug the sides. Green is now able to come out down. Oh no, orange, yeah, that's right. Green comes out down to here. Orange comes out here. Which cell gets the last? It's green, isn't it? There we go. Okay. So the pattern's exactly the same, except down here, where I have to allow something different, basically. That's so strange. Okay. And here we go again. And I did not grasp that. I'll be very interested to know how many of you picked up that I got that wrong, and whether, especially whether you knew that I had got it wrong, or you knew that there was another possibility that I hadn't seen. Interesting. Well, a little mortifying and humiliating. Don't rub it in too much, but there we go. Now, a lot of this stuff is the same, 2, 3, 4, triple, but it's going to change in a moment from not allowing 1 to work to allowing it to work. 1279 again. We need an 8 in grey. Can't sit on this dot, so that's 3, 4, 5, 6. This is a 1, 8 pair. We know the order. Right. Again, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here. And again, we've got a triple going on. And this is a 1, 7 pair. Now, 7 in this box is still in one of those two cells, so it's not in green there. Now, what's going to happen with 1? These we probably know about. We need a 6 in yellow, and that's here. So is 5. That's a 5, 6 pair. This is a 1, 7, 9 triple. No change there. That's a 2. This is 3, 4, 5. Now, 1 in blue can't be here or here, so it's definitely here. But now we can have a 1 in dark green. Not, again, on the white dot, but here. Oh, that was so confusing. And one of those is a 1, and we are left with a little pair of 1s there, and we have 1s distributed correctly around the puzzle. Thank goodness. Right. Now, somehow I knew they couldn't have a 6 on. I don't remember how that was. I don't remember. I'm sure it still applies, and I don't remember what the reasoning was. There has to be a 4 on this group. Oh, this digit can't be 5 or 6 by Sudoku. That's it. So that can't be a 6. So one of these, now there's a 4 in one of those cells, not there and not here. This was about where we got up to before. Now I know there's a 4 in that group. So this other cell is also from 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is now a 7, 9 pair. Uniqueness tells me, oh well, so does Sudoku, then that's not a 7, 9 pair. Goodness, that was utterly confusing. Right, no 2 there, so we've got a 2 there. This is now 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in the final column, so this is 2, 3, 4. That one can't be a 4. This one can't be a 5. This is 2, 3, or 4, and the odd digit on that white pair is a 3. So this must be a 2. And that 2 is going to, yeah, it's going to put 2 in dark blue right there. Now, that means these can't have a 2 in. This bottom row, I've got, that can't be a 7. I've got 5, 6, 8, 9. Not that helpful. But the law of leftovers thing has worked this time. Okay, it's now these 4 cells that are the same as the 4 cells in bright blue now that aren't there. So those 4 have to be the same as these 4. So we need a 9 in bright blue. That's what that's telling me. And we need a 2 in column 8. I thought I'd done that before. Somehow that came out of the grid. So 1, 2, 9, and that digit. So that digit has to be the same as this one, and they're both 5s. That's very pretty. That's a 6. That's not a 5. Now, up this column, these need a 1 in one of those positions, but they need a 2 in this column, and that's got to be here. These can't have 9 in anymore, but they must have 5 in, so there's no 5 in these cells, and there is a 5 in these cells. So we're getting something on red. I tell you what else we need. We need that to be in red somewhere, and that's in one of these cells. No, it doesn't help. But then we need a 9 in this region. Yes, I know that's in one of those two. But that is an X-wing with 9s there. So there is a 9 in one of these two cells in column 9. There is a 9 in one of these two cells in green. That's going to use up the 9s in rows 5 and 6. There's no 9 there, and that's a 9. Now we've got a 7 X-wing in rows 5 and 6, and that sorts out 7 in row 4. Now they can't have a 7 in. This group of cells by the Sudoku here is, in this box, is 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, only one of them can be 9. That's good. And this one can't be 7. So that's a 6, 7, 8 triple. Now, on red, yeah, these are from 1, 3, 4, 5. We kind of knew that already. That 1 has done the 7, 1 pair at the top. That means this isn't a 7 and that is. This pair is a pair of 5, 4 in green. So that's not 5 or 4. Right, this is 3 or 6. And this sequence now either goes 3, 4, 5 or 6, 5, 4. And that's a definite 5, 4 pair. And that's now a 3, 6 pair. So that's a 2. Interesting, surprising. There's 4, 5 pairs in both of those positions. That's a double X-wing, and this has to be a 5, 4 pair, and we can write them in. Hurrah. Now I've only got one place for 1 in red. This is 3 or 4, and it's also seeing the 5, 4 pair. So that's a 3, this is 4, that's 3, this is 4. I mean, these are going to sort out due to this white dot, which we haven't resolved. But that, in fact, that's part of a 3, 6 pair. 5, 4, 2. That can't be 6. We've got 1, 7, 8, 9. This is a naked single now, given the 3, 6 pair. That's an 8. Now that's a 9. That's a 7. That's a 1. So that finishes off some other cells. This is not a 9. We have formed a 6, 8 pair here. And this is a 3 in the center of the grid with a 6 above it. Okay, this is coming together now. Now we can't have a 3 in blue because we've already had one, so that's the 3 in the column. That sorts out box 1 in its entirety. This is now a 3, so we can run up the white sequence and fix the deadly pattern. This must be known. That's a 3 as well. Right, now I can do the rest by Sudoku. 2, 8, 9, 4, 5, 6 here. I can put the 4 in at least, and a 5, 6 pair. This box, 2, 9, 4, 1, 7 and 5. 7 has to be there, and 5 in the corner. Got 3, 6 and 8. That has to be a 6. That sorts out the 8, 6 pair. I can do this 3, 4 pair at the top. This is now 8. That's a 3. And we're going to finish off 6, 8, 6, and a 5 here. And that is the snake farm completed in 33:36, which is an excellently, if I'd been 3 seconds quicker or just not hesitated at the end, it would have been 33:33, which is always a nice time. Anyway, there we go. What a lovely puzzle. What a mess I made of that at the beginning by not appreciating the 2 possibilities that I needed to leave available. And I will be reading the comments carefully to see how much cleverer you were than I was. Thank you for watching, as always, and we'll be back with more tomorrow. Bye for now.